I'm Sam Clark with Crimson Education, and we're here at Stanford University to ask some big questions. What is the best thing about Stanford?
I would say depth of the bench. All of the people here are really impressive and have broad intellectual pursuits that allow conversations like what we're having.
Amazing. What are you guys talking about?
Things well outside our depth of knowledge.
Okay,
probably nonsense.
Yeah. I'd have to say all the people at Stanford, they're all pretty amazing and super nice. And I mean, they all ask you like how your day's been going, what are you doing? And so they're really, really nice.
The best thing about Stanford is absolutely the people here. I've met some of the most passionate people who are really engaged with what they're doing and want to help the world in any way they can. And that's provided for some really awesome communities as well.
Definitely the quality education. There's a lot of cool resources here that you can use for good education, and it's good to take advantage of it.
One thing that you sort of have to appreciate is like we have like lots of resources, right? Like being a super wealthy university, we have crazy opportunities that other institutions that don't have the same amount of money just don't have. So that's something that you really have to sort of admire.
People tend to think that, everyone's just like computer science-y, in this area, but there's actually a huge diversity in terms of like the people, like their personalities, what they're interested in, and I think that's given me a really solid and really diverse friends group.
I think the best thing for me is the combination of sports and athletics. I'm on the volleyball team here, and so just being able to be on one of the best volleyball teams in the country and get the education I am getting is incredible and doesn't really happen at many other places.
What's the worst thing about Stanford?
I don't know if I'd levy this against Stanford specifically, but I feel like, all institutions, right? Like, we've selected for a very particular group of people, right? Like, all colleges select for, people who are generally wealthy or generally, think in similar ways. I think that's just sort of sad. That's something that I would, say is bad, but it's not Stanford specific. That's just, all education facilities, yeah.
Sometimes California, they say it doesn't rain, but it rains. And honestly, that's the worst part.
That's a lie. That's demonstrably false.
And it gets really cold sometimes at night. The weather, it gets weird, so.
Worst thing is the bubble that it forms. Sometimes you can be so connected with other people on this campus and so connected to the things that are going on because there's always just so much happening, and campus is very self-contained, and it's like physically a bit of a distance to get off campus, and so because of that you end up getting trapped in doing everything that you can do on this campus.
Because there's too many opportunities, there's also a lot of groups and clubs here, and so because of the amount of opportunities, people sometimes flake on the activities and stuff. They're like, oh yeah, I'm part of this club, but actually they never go to
What's the worst thing about Stanford?
It's pretty spread out, so it's tough to get around if you don't have a bike. My bike actually recently just got stolen, so I've been dealing with that.
Condolences, I'm sorry.
No worries, man.
Say the housing, because it's pretty hard to get a good house unless you get a medical draw, and every year you have to move. Sure. That's my roommate. Sure. She's the best part of housing, though.
She's great. You're great. And what do you tend to do on weekends here?
I go to brunch at Wilbur with my girl AD, who cooks the best omelets ever.
Shout out AD.
Typically in lab, but they're, other than that, hang out and discuss with people.
Usually hang out with friends, right now, we're going to Koopa. It's our cafe, coffee shop. So yeah.
Yeah, hang out with friends, catch up on work that we've been procrastinating on for the entire week.
Yeah. For the whole quarter. Totally.
On the weekends, I do improv. I hang out on campus because it's kind of a bubble here, but occasionally I'll go up to San Francisco.
I belong to a fraternity, so just kind of hanging around there. Usually something going on.
So either I chill with friends and go around. The parties are pretty fun, or I just sometimes I just have a quiet nights and just stay at home and study. Yeah.
Awesome. One more question. What did you write your college application essay about?
One of the main ones I wrote about was my height, and it was what challenges you the most, and so I wrote about that.
I was raised Jewish, from a Jewish family, but I wasn't really connected to Judaism or anything. And then about 4 years ago, I went to Germany for an international competition for all Jewish athletes, and it was about 3,000 Jewish athletes all marching into the Berlin Olympic Stadium that was built in 1936 by Nazis, and it was just a big statement for the Jewish people, and it got me really connected to my culture and made me proud of where I came from, so I wrote about that.
I wrote one on what matters to me and why. and I talked about education and all children receiving education. And then I cannot remember the rest of my essay question.
Okay, all good, no worries.
I wrote about a traffic problem, traffic jams in Jakarta, where I come from, and I also wrote about predeterminism and how like free will and like all this stuff. Yeah, that's I wrote a bunch of stuff, like other stuff. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was like 4 years ago. So let me try and remember. I went to a science and tech high school, but did a lot of theater. So I kind of talked about how I wanted to combine communication and sciences.
Sure. And you've been able to do that here?
Totally. Stanford's very interdisciplinary, so they've supported me in combining my different passions and being able to work in different departments.
Amazing. Anything to add?
Great weather.
Yeah! Great weather, Stanford. All right, awesome. If you like this video and want to learn more about top colleges, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want me to start asking new big questions in our big questions video, comment below the type of questions you want to see. Or if there's a university you want us to go to that we haven't gone to yet, please comment below. Also subscribe. Also like it. Also click the link below that gives you a free consultation for Crimson Education so that you can follow your dreams and reimagine what's possible. I'm Sam Clark with Crimson Education. One more time, signing off. I'll see you next time. Ugh!
Why are we still filming?